Okay, here we are finishing up the final exam. I am hoping that throughout this module you have listened to each of the tutorials, followed all of the directions, and completed your discussion board work. And now it's time to put the whole masterpiece together. Let's take a look at that together. If you have not done so already, this is a good time in the semester to make sure that you have studied each of these topics in the left menu bar. As you know, writing style, paragraph development, point of view, sentence structure, and so forth are all part of your prerequisite skills. You are already to have those skills in place prior to taking this course. One of the things that is of help to students, I have found, is information located in this left menu bar area, particularly the Formal Writing Style tab. In addition, remember you have access to the Writing Center, a free resource that can help you review your essay before submitting it. The number one problem that I see with students in formal essays is paragraph development. Some paragraphs go on for pages and pages. This reflects an incomplete outline because a thorough, complete outline will tell the student exactly what is involved in each paragraph. That makes sure that you do not have that run-on paragraph problem, and I went ahead and added information about that in this left menu bar area under Formal Writing Style. Now let's take a look at the requirements for the essay as we get it ready to submit. And of course, I am at this point in the semester, and of course the date will change depending upon the semester, where we are going to create the final multiple source essay. Let's open this and take a look at it together. This was that navigation tutorial that took you on a tour of this particular section of the course, and now we want to look at the preparing of the final multiple source essay. Let's open this and remind ourselves together. Remember, Blackboard will only accept one document. So if you attempt to submit multiple documents, all I will see is the last document that you presented. That is why it is imperative that your submission for your final essay is one document, one long PDF document. We want the name, course, word count in the upper left-hand corner. The title is centered below that, and then one title image that represents the totality of your essay. Regardless of the information that I've offered to you in the Qualitative Analysis tab, I still see people who submit essays with logos or words or a cover of a book or a poster. The reader should never have to read any words on your image that you are representing as the totality of your essay. That image should show the reader exactly what the essay is about without having to use words. Under that goes your name, 4 spaces. That literally means 4 spaces. Sometimes people click enter, enter when they have it already set on double space, and that makes a huge gap. So we want to make sure that we do that correctly. Now the outline is a formal, completed outline. That should be 1 to 2 pages long because each one of your sections is detailed in the outline. And there are, of course, tutorials that show you how to do that. That takes a long time, but it's worth it because that helps you avoid those long run-on paragraphs that indicate a sparse outline. Okay? Then comes the abstract. The abstract is also double-spaced and follows the exact instructions that were given to you. That is sentence by sentence explaining to you exactly what an abstract contains. Literally 4 spaces, and then repeat the title of the essay centered. Then we have the essay. Make sure that we indent properly. Are all sources properly cited? There's one thing I want to give you as a small tip as you go forward, as you review this final thing, and it's said throughout the course. Remember, never, ever, ever use we, you, our, ours, your, nothing like that. Ever. Only use third-person objectives, just the facts. Or first person, I. I'm interested in Bible studies because I find this to be interesting. In my experience, I. That's first person. The wrong points of view are, we all know that. In our country there are. You should follow my instructions so that you too can have a. Those are all incorrect. Again, this is part of your prerequisite skills, but I find points being deducted over and over again for this error, and I want to make sure that you understand to go back through your essay and make sure you have not done that. Here's the problem. You read articles, and the articles that were published by somebody uses our, we see in these studies, our studies show, you can see that. Okay, that's an article that was published. That is not your essay. You are writing a formal expository essay from a university student. You cannot, therefore, ever use we, you, our, we all, your, etc. All right? Just double check that because I see it over and over again and it just breaks my heart because sometimes it's a beautiful essay and doggone it, we've got a point of view issue. All right. Then, have you quoted each and every source? Have you avoided vague statements? A vague statement is something like, many people suffer from overweight issues. Well, how many are many? That doesn't tell me anything. You are asking the reader to figure out how many is. You can't do that. You have to say, recent studies from Cornell University indicate that 56% of the people in this or that state are overweight, period. They go on to define overweight as, period. Overweight doesn't mean anything till you tell me what it means. Several. How many are several? We don't have any idea. The reader cannot read your mind. You have to study that. You have to put that information in your essay. Now, still, the quoted content of your essay cannot exceed 30%. 70% must be in your own words. So you have to be careful about how you cite sources. And that's also included in tutorials in this course. 2,500 to 3,000 words. This is not a hard, cold number, but anything under 2,500 words will not meet the criteria required by this campus. At least 6 valid sources and a minimum of 3 research methods. Again, that's been covered in the course. Did you conduct a field study research? Did you interview somebody? Did you find an interview that took place? Perhaps it was a YouTube interview. It's always better if you conduct the interview, but in worst case scenarios, that can happen. The research methods are all shown in the textbook. They are all shown in the left menu bar under what is research. Check your grammatical content. At this point, some people are at the end of the semester. You've had 6 full weeks to work on this. So there really is no, I've been busy, I tried to get this in at the last minute. That's not a valid excuse. You've had 6 full weeks to work on this. So check that grammatical content. Read your content out loud. It will help you every single time. Do you clearly use a variety of research methods? At least 3. Make sure your minimum of 4 images, that's in addition to your title image, at least 4 images, charts, graphs, images, high resolution and sharp and explained. If you include graphs and charts, did you explain them? You cannot just throw a graph into an essay and expect the reader to know what that's about, right? The reader needs to have everything explained in clear, concise information. And then you're going to look all that over and you'll make sure that you have everything saved as one long PDF document and then come in and submit that. If you need to resubmit that because you remember that, oh gosh, you forgot that you did in fact complete the evaluation and you need to put that on your essay, you can resubmit as many times. I have unlimited attempts allowed until the essay is graded. Once the essay receives a grade, you cannot then say, oh gosh, I forgot to put that in and I was going to try to get it resubmitted. That's not fair to anyone in the class, and it is a direct contradiction of all campus policies regarding student submission of work. Yes, this is exciting. I can't wait to read your essay. Take time and make sure everything is exactly as you want it. Make sure that you do a view of the entire essay. I like to do that grid view where I see 4 pages at a time. I can see those big gaps in a paragraph and go back and fix them before the essay is graded. I can see and make sure that I do a search and see if I search for the word you. Did I use that? I can find it and change it. Make sure that there's no vagueness in there. Make sure that everything is documented. Not just a bunch of us have decided to. No, it is a study showed that 96% of us, there isn't even us, we wouldn't use it, 96% of students in this particular demographic showed a tendency to. Do you see that? Okay. It's explained throughout the course. I just want to make sure that I touch base on it here. That concludes this tutorial on submitting the final essay.